So I'm going to just take a little pause here and do a little wiggle because we're going to move into integrity skills, which we're going to be focusing on in the reweaving class that starts in June. It would be great to, Michelle, if you could put the flyer up in the chat for people. So if some of you don't know about this, because we're going to have a big community reset. And my intention in using the integrity cards and also in doing the reweaving class is that I want to embody a new foundation for creating new structures in our world rather than throwing ourselves against the old structures, which truly have failed. And so, if any of you have been feeling a big case of the wobbles in the last few months, or for me, it's the last few years, the wobbles come from us not having a structure around which to organize ourselves because we need flow in life, but we also need a container. So if you have water, but you have no container to hold it, it's a lot more difficult to have a healthy relationship with water. And our own structures, I want to create a reliable new, it's like we're doing our own infrastructure now, a reliable new spine, a reliable new foundation that can serve us, particularly in all of the unknowns. I think we have moved into a realm where a lot of what we thought how the world operates is no longer, it no longer works, it no longer makes sense. When we're living in a world where now the poles have shifted and our weather patterns are shifting, and all of the things that I learned when I was growing up have just been like poof. Yeah, it's time for us, rather than arguing with the old structure, to create a new one. And the best way I know to do that is by grounding ourselves in integrity. And the integrity skills are all about wholeness, about experiencing yourself as a wholeness and experiencing others as a wholeness, and having a way to recreate, to reform your wholeness if there's a wobble. And so we're sharing the integrity skills today and on Mondays, and then we'll be also sharing them throughout this year long. So today is really a great one. It's a biggie. So Michelle, let's bring up the picture. This one is from agreements, from Impeccable Agreements. I suggest to you also, any of you who work organizationally or who, we all work with others. Agreements is one of the most important skills for navigating this new world. And the first of all, take a look at, I mean, for me, I experience myself very much in this picture of, notice that she's standing on some kind of solid ground and she's about to step out into the big unknown. So notice how that picture impacts you, just what comes up inside, what you feel, what you think, and how you respond right now to all of the unknowns. And for me, one of the most important reliable moves that I've made is in this particular realm of impeccable agreements, is grounding my agreements on what I actually want, which is not what I learned growing up. I make agreements mostly, I learned to make them because other people wanted them, because it would make me fit in with whatever was going on. This is really, really different. It's coming from your own authenticity, your own agency. So let yourself just close your eyes and listen to first the sentence and then the question here, and then just notice how you experience that. I recognize and use my whole body yes signals to choose which agreements I want to make. take a breath and see if there's any wiggling or anything like that wants to happen for you. I recognize and use my whole body yes signals to choose which agreements I want to make. And then here's the question: what can I draw on from my whole body wisdom to select agreements I do want to make? It takes a lot of courage for us to say yes in the middle of a lot of no. Because most people now are, I don't want this, I don't want that, that doesn't work, I don't like that. But there's no like, okay, well, what would work? How can I turn toward what would work? And the whole body, yes, you can explore this in lots of different ways. We have some videos to assist you. But for today, I'd like you to tune into, think about something that you're considering doing, like an agreement, which, by the way, is between two or more people. So, an agreement is something that you say you're going to do or that you say you're not going to do. And it's between you and one or more other people. Whereas a commitment, which we also think is really, really valuable, a commitment is between you and the universe. It doesn't depend on other people. But there's this whole thing called other people. And if we're going to create a new world that works, it needs to operate with impeccable agreements. And so think about an agreement that you're considering making, or maybe even one that you just made so that's in your recent memory. And when you think about that agreement, I'd like you to notice if your body feels like you're opening, you're expanding, or you're contracting. And some of the places I look for that are my upper chest. So am I feeling a flow of expansion in my upper chest? I notice my jaw. Does my jaw feel loose and open, or does it get tight? And also my belly, because that's the fear center. And does my belly get tight or contracted? It could be very subtle. It could be more like just a, a little bit of an intake. You could hold your breath. That's a way of contracting. So those contractions are often connected with an inner no. And it's an inner no that our body is trying to communicate about. But most of us think that the communications need to come verbally or need to come in images. And they may come in body sensations, may come in images that come through your mind or something that you notice. So, your body wisdom and your relationship to your body wisdom is something that you can keep cultivating lifelong. I keep learning more about my body wisdom signals when I get curious. So, the things that we were doing in our loops and scoops portion of cultivating appreciation and looking for what's behind and what's under, those are also very important and effective ways of opening to your body wisdom, your deeper body wisdom. So notice what it would be like now with this agreement for you to say, yes, yes, I want to do this. And then notice if your body agrees with you. Yes, I want to do this. So when I'm thinking about a recent agreement and I went, yes, I want to do that, my body actually, I got a little tight in my tummy. So I thought, oh, huh, maybe I don't really want to do this. And so when I tune into that, what else? Do I want to make a change in that agreement? Do I not want to do this at all? Hmm. And then let yourself, just for the opportunity to check it out, say, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep this agreement, or I don't want to do this agreement. And then notice how your body responds to that. So when I thought about that agreement and thought, no, I don't want to do that, my body got all kind of, got a little just almost slightly nauseated. So I thought, oh no, okay, this isn't a no. This means that I want to refine a little bit the nature of my yes. Because some of us, when we say yes to something, we think that means that we have to say yes to everything. So with an agreement, you can say, yes, I want to meet with you this afternoon, and I have to rearrange a bunch of things to meet you at 2:30, so I want to change the time. And if that's not possible for you, I want to do it on a different day. So notice, do your agreements allow you to keep opening to your own flourishing, or do they limit? Do they make you have to fit into something that it doesn't really open up all the possibilities for you? So agreements are a structure that allows you to get in alignment with somebody else to get something done. And when that comes from something that you have a yes to, that opens up your inner creativity so that you can keep creating and co-creating, especially as you're moving into the unknown. Because as you know, an agreement that you make doesn't always, uh, you know, as you're first making the agreement, there's all kinds of stuff that can happen. So there may be changes in the agreement that need to be made until you actually get to the thing that you're going to do. So, for example, I've been I have a clear yes to doing a clubhouse with a friend, and a clubhouse, and then I just found out today that Gay is doing a clubhouse at the same time. So I went, oh, okay, now I'm checking out. So I still have a clear yes. Yes. Yeah, I want to do that. So now that means with my friend that I'm doing this with, I just said, oh, I'd like to change our agreement to do it another night. And I got back from her, oh, sure, we'll do that today. Yeah, no problem. We'll just change the agreement. And when I heard that, I felt an expansion of my yes. My yes was received by her, and it amplified our creativity and our co creativity. So it's really like you're making the frame for the picture, or you're creating the foundation for, like, I and a number of my colleagues went down to New Orleans to create houses for Habitat for Humanity after Katrina. And I learned how to make a foundation for a house. So, like, I could go into any neighborhood now and help construct an actual foundation for the floor for the house. And so I draw on that same feeling of what's the foundation of this? How does the foundation feel to me? And is there any refinement of the foundation, making the foundation really solid, that's going to allow us to create freely on top of that? And that's the power of agreements. So I want to invite you throughout this whole next period of time to explore what is a clear yes for me and what is a clear no for me. We have another card in the integrity deck, which is about no, but really attending to the flow and the expansion of yes, and the clarification of no. That no doesn't mean I don't like you and you're bad or I'm bad. It really means stop here and consider a new, some kind of a new decision. So let's come on back to the big picture here. And I appreciate your being here, and I appreciate your considering these things. We're really opening up a positive Pandora's box where we're just throwing out, no, this doesn't work. What do we want to do instead? And what I want to suggest to you is that the integrity skills, which are all skills that we can use them right now, build for you and for the people you care about and for the people you don't know, build a new foundation where we can create and co-create from that allows everybody's yes, honors people's no, and allows us to co-create in a brand new way. So thank you so much for being here this morning, and I'm going to leave now. Michelle is going to be here for continued conversation for any of you who would like to. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time. Mwah!
Thank you.
Thank you.